Hello and welcome back to TGTV, and more specifically, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a new edition on the channel. I have bought this 997 behind me with a difference. The sun is shining, the wind is doing what wind does, and it's been extremely blustery today, but I've just bought this very special, very rare car that I wanted to share with you, and I bring with it good news, because you can win this very car for a few quid with the opening discount below with classic giveaway. Shock horror, you knew that was coming, but this car, I'm going to get in, we're going to go for a drive, I'm going to explain exactly why. For the budget, this is the best 911 of the bunch and the best value. So let's take a look around the car, then we're going to go for a drive. So this car then is in seal grey. It is obviously a 997.1. It is a Carrera S. However, you'd be forgiven for thinking that this was a GT3 because it has got the aero kit on it. How good does that look? And for around 40 grand, there isn't much better that you can buy. A GT3, as you know, does not have back seats, but this one does. It's got the same brakes as a GT3, pretty much the same aero as a GT3. It looks exactly the same as a GT3, but you've not got running costs of a GT3. Anyway, this particular car you can win for a few quid right now with classic giveaways. It's got 41,000 miles on it, and it's obviously got a manual gearbox as well. So let's take a little look around. So first and foremost, we've got the aero kit. By that we mean this front lip here. We've also got, obviously, aggressive front bumper there. We've got the sports alloy wheels as well, with the sports brakes behind, exactly the same brakes that I've got on my GT3 RS actually, and on my 997 Turbo. And round the back here is where it starts to all get very aggressive with that massive rear wing. How good does that look? And finding one of these cars with a manual gearbox, completely unmolested like this, without privacy glass, without stupid modifications, is nigh on impossible. It is absolutely impossible to do so. So before then, I get completely blown away. Let's jump in the car, take a look at the interior, because the interior is very special, because it is also grey in here. So this particular car has got your sat nav on here. It's actually, I believe, got the same steering wheel as my GT3 RS as well. Everything is at pretty much as you'd expect, and of course you've got 6-speed manual box. So let's fire up then and get going. So then, same key pretty much as the Carrera GT actually. Let's pop her in. On the wrist today actually, before we get going, we've got the Bulgari Sketch Octo Finissimo on today. Right, key in. She's got 41,111 miles on the clock. Let's fire her up. Wow, woof. And obviously now with these 997.1s, you can get the Porsche OEM unit to replace this. And I've actually done that in my 997 Turbo, which is coming to the channel very, very soon. Actually ahead of me, just leaving here in Ascot Racecourse, is Mr. Matthew Pretty in this DBS we've been filming for the upcoming Historics auctions. And that is in the auction, a manual car, lovely stuff. So here we go then. Just left Ascot Racecourse there. Ooh! I don't know if anyone heard that. That was Mr. Matthew Pretty in a Aston Martin DBS. I was obviously doing 2 miles an hour there, and he was doing 12, so he came past me. I don't know if anyone heard that, but we've just been filming today with Historics Auctions for that upcoming May auction. So I've been filming in a Gallardo Superleggera today, which was a lot of fun. Also in a DBS, which Mr. Matthew Pretty is in just there, and also a Lamborghini Urraco. I never know how to say it, but I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments. A 2+2 seater V8 Lambo from the 70s, which pretty much none of you will have seen before. I've never seen one before. So we're filming with Vicky Butler-Henderson as well, as usual with Historics. Let's go back the other way. So, what is this thing like on first impressions? Why do I love the 997 generation so much? For me, it is the perfect blend of modern and analog. I fear the new 911s, the 992 particularly, and obviously the 992.2 generation was about to be sprung on us all. They've got too big, they've got too fat, they've got too kind of, I don't know, just too... clever sounds stupid. If I say a car's got too clever, it just makes me sound like a dinosaur, but I just fear there's a bit too much going on. And you know, my 992 GT3 Touring, I don't really like it. And I don't know why I'm using this video as an excuse just to have a go at it, but I don't really enjoy it. As a road car, as a car just to pedal about in, I just don't really get as much easy enjoyment out of it as I do with something like this. Yes, is this as good as a GT3? In many metrics, no. But actually, in 99% of the occasions, it's just as good as a GT3. It looks like a GT3. You've got back seats. You don't get the running bills of a GT3. And actually, the ride comfort is pretty pleasant. Something which the 997 GT3 is actually not bad at all. But those 992 GT3s are borderline unlivable with until you take them to somewhere like Suspension Secrets, one of these places that messes around with suspension and makes all things a little bit more palatable. So I do think there's something to be said for these Carrera S's. This is a Carrera 2S, not a Carrera 4S, so it's obviously slightly lighter weight. If that makes any difference to anyone, it doesn't really most of the time. And also, obviously, it's rear-wheel drive, so you do get that slightly more nimble, spirited, squirmy feeling. You can slide it, should you be that way inclined. Although people that slide around on public roads are a word I can't repeat on this channel. It's good. This being a Carrera S does have the PASM option, so you can tighten up the springs should you so wish on twisty roads. But on kind of bumpy, horrible roads like this, you're not really going to want to do that. Ground clearance then with that front splitter. As you can hear, there's no lift, but you don't really need it. But you can find examples like this for around 40 odd grand. And in this day and age, 40 odd grand doesn't buy you much 911. I think this is very, you can still blip it as well. This is peak 911 for around that money, it really is. For around that price, you can buy some fairly ropey older 911s. It's good. Yes. And you can't really buy that much else. If you wanted a 997 GT3 that hadn't been through a hedge backwards and cobbled back together with super glue, you're still looking at 80 odd grand, so you're looking at double the price. One of these, with a couple of little, with a couple of little tweaks. You know, you can mess around with the dampers. You get KWs. You can do whatever you want. An exhaust and bits and bobs. You can get a very, very well sorted car, all in for sort of early 40s, particularly with that PCM unit that I mentioned earlier from Porsche. It's 1,300 quid, which is not cheap, but it does put 991, 991.2 level of tech into your 997 in an OEM way. Well worth the money, and one of the only kind of upgrades really you can do to these cars that will genuinely add kind of value and sort of OEM value back into the car. It's a very easy resto mod type modification that isn't done in a tacky way like most. Now, should you be looking at this and thinking, TG, I don't have 40 grand, or I do have 40 grand, but I don't want to spend it on a car, which is totally fair enough. Little blip. The pedals are so well suited, they're so well placed just to give it a little blip. I'm not the best driver in the world, far from it. I'd say I'm probably closer to the worst driver in the world than the best driver, and even I can give it a little blip. Very, very satisfying. So if you're thinking, TG, I've got 40 grand, I want to buy a car, but I don't want to spend 40 grand on it, I'd rather spend very, very little, or even about a tenner, this is for you. This is for you. With Classic Giveaways, we are giving someone the opportunity to win this car for a few quid. We really do hand over the cars every single week, and we have had more than 20 winners so far. We have just given away a Mark 1 Golf GTI, by the time you're watching this, to the lucky winner. An absolute hen's teeth example of that. Laser green, fully restored, absolute mint Mark 1 Golf GTI. We've given away numerous 997 Carrera S's now. They seem to be super popular. Giving away a 996 Turbo with factory GT2 upgrades to it. from the factory, the X72 pack, all sorts of weird and wonderful examples, and this is just the latest in a long line of cars that will be given away for the price of, well, less than the price of a Nando's these days. It's obviously got a 6-speed manual box. We don't really touch the Tiptronics, we only go for the manual cars. It's only done 41,000 miles and it's got a big fat history file. We don't go for cars with tinted windows or any horrible aftermarket extras. We just go for the beautiful examples like this. And I must admit, every time we get something in, I have it for a few days, I get to film with it, and then I get sad because I have to get rid of it. I have to give it to someone. It's nice handing it over, but I actually just think to myself, I wish I could just keep that, to be honest. At some point as well, we'll do a winners meetup. Everyone that's won a car with us. We've even done a fast forward. It was an XR3. At some point, we will do a meetup with all the winners as well. So that'll be coming to the channel very soon. But yeah, I mean, this is a fab car. Someone's going to absolutely ring the bell winning this, and I can't wait to meet the winner. It's a really weird feeling actually, because obviously I do it with the watches as well, with Grail Watch Club. Meeting people and then just giving them a car, or just giving them a watch. It's really, really strange sensation. The other day with Grail Watch Club, we actually gave away a £40,000 Rolex GMT root beer. And every time someone turns up, I see them looking at me before they get given their prize. You see them thinking, they're kind of the dawn of realization. They're like, this isn't actually a scam. You weren't actually joking. I have actually won. Because not like you, same as me, every time I see these giveaway companies, there's loads of them around, I think, yeah, but are you actually giving these things away? I call BS on the whole thing. And on the most part, you'd be right. Most of these companies, well, a lot of these companies are a scam. They make so much money because they do just give, oh Christ, they do just give the prize to their mate. There's no accountability, there's no reputation there, there's no trust, there's no like person that's putting their neck on the line that you've ever heard of before. But with this, very sadly, in my case, we'd actually make some proper money if we didn't give them away. We actually have to give them away. So this will be in someone's hands within probably a week of filming this video. There's been quite an aggressive storm or something that's going on here. There's a tree in the road. Chaos. But this is magic, absolute magic. There's just something about the 997, the size of it, the steering feel, the weight of it, just everything has come together in just the, for me, perfect 911. You've got the reliability and the mod cons to make it easy to live with and easy to kind of not bankrupt you, but you've also got the visceral and analog experience, but without being overbearing. It really is just the perfect blend of all ingredients for me. Where are we going? Hey, we're going down here, aren't we? $7,000 revs! So don't miss your chance then. If you catch this video within the first 48 hours of the competition going live, you will get an opening discount, so you'll get even cheaper tickets. As the competition goes on, the prices will go up, so you don't save any money by waiting. The tickets just get more expensive as time goes on. So if you catch it before the competition ends, make sure you get in the mix, because the price is only going to go up. For now then, I'm going to love you and leave you, try and work out where on earth I'm going. I will see you all very, very soon. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this very impromptu video. I'm actually going to have to pull over now and put my 992 GT3 touring video live. So I've got to go this evening to Harrods for an event. So I've got to pull over, put the video live, get back to my house, get changed and go into London for an event at Harrods. All very exciting, nothing to moan about, but I am back to back at the minute. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all very soon. Bye!